So, we're down to the final 3 episodes. And after this episode, we're down to the final 2 episodes of the promised Neverland Season 1. So let's talk about episode 10. Well, despair has now kind of become a feature of the show. And so it starts off with the whole spiel Norman was giving about it being a cliff and, this, that, and the other thing. There's basically only one way off this fucking hellhole, and it's the gate. The gate's the only way anybody gets in or out, because everywhere else there's this big fucking, fuck you trench around this big fuck you wall. It's actually kind of weird because it's the complete opposite of Attack on Titan. It's like, the big walls were meant to keep the Titans out. But, these big fuck you walls are meant to keep everybody in. And kind of to break the spirit. And so it seems that Norman has kind of accepted his fate, and that fate is to die. He didn't run away when he had the last chance, and Emma tries to create a distraction at, creates this one last ditch thing at the, when Norman's off, like his final hurrah to everybody, and that's fucking, legitimately sad. Because, all the kids, it's like, everybody's crying and sad, and what's awaiting him, and it's like, fuck. So Emma, lunges toward him with the device, and they have a device now, I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the previous episode, but they have this device now that can disable the tracking devices. And it's basically a big fuck you taser. It's like it's not a big fuck you taser, but it's a big fuck you and a taser. So she rushes him to try and, tase him to shut the shit down, and Norman realizes this, and she's about to put her leg on, she's about to run and place her broken leg on the ground with some force, it is presumed. And he tosses her to the ground, and is just I'm fucking stop, Then there's a big flashback to when Norman was a kid, a younger kid, I should say, because he's fucking 12. He's still a kid now, but when he was a younger kid, and he would constantly get sick because he was I assume he's a frail kid, And Emma was the ray of hope. Was the ray of hope for him in this one instance, because he was basically quarantined off because he was sick from the rest of the kids, so the rest of the kids don't get sick. Emma, it's genuinely lighthearted, happy. Fucking, it's just so it's it's like this happy little bit, and then just despair. Fucking, so she comes in and is talking to him. It's like, oh, I'll keep you. I know that you get lonely when you're away from everybody. So it's I'm gonna come in and talk to you. And then Mama picks her up, drags her out, and then like tapes up the doors. Like, you need to stay the fuck out. Emma finds another way in, and this time is like, here's this thing, like they're like this string cup telephone thing, which I never, I never have seen work in the real world, but that doesn't mean that they don't. I just have never experienced it. And it's like, and then, she gets dragged out again by Mama, and like, she's talking to him, quietly. And then she yells or whatever. She's like, yeah, it works, yeah. And Ray's like, you fucking could have like... Oh, that's another funny thing. Is like, Ray... Emma's like, the first time she's in there, she's like, I've told her I've never gotten sick. And Ray's like Ray... She's like, Ray told me. It's like... And Ray, he's just like, open this up. And he's just holding this book and he's like, yeah. Idiots, this book says idiots never get sick. Which is the whole thing. Fucking. So, yeah, second time, she yells, and he's like, if you're gonna yell, you don't need the fucking, the string telephone thing. Like, you don't need it if you're just gonna yell. And she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. And so so this whole flashback is triggered by him picking up the cup from his drawer. And so he puts it in his suitcase. Puts it in the suitcase. The only thing he puts in the suitcase. And so, the sad moment, Emma tries to, whatever the fuck. And then, so he's walking down. Walking down to the gate. And basically is like, he sees the truck. So they're walking down. I forgot this. So they're walking down, and he says, "Are you happy, Mom?" And it like kind of throws her for a loop, because I guess like nobody's ever asked her that, because nobody's known about the secret before getting taken down. No kid has ever known about the secret and has gotten taken down to the gate. And so he's looking at the truck where Connie was held, and she's like, can you wait in here for a few minutes? This room. Open up the door. It's like this bright yellow light, and he's kind of like that kind of expression. And then, so that, next day, Emma and Ray just kind of shut down. Kind of just shut the there's also, so after this happens, Emma, it is presumed, is hallucinating Norman's voice. I think that Mama is like an inside agent, kinda? Maybe? And she took him into this like side room and like kept him alive, and now he's talking to her through like the tracking device, maybe. That's what I think. But so Ray and Emma go into like these funks, like, and it's legitimately fucking sad. Like, and Ray's whatever, because he's kind of like off by himself in the library doing whatever. Emma's literally just sitting underneath a tree, like this one scene. It's like, it like almost brought me to tears. Like, I was really close to tearing up and crying, because Emma, it's very similar to another scene in Grave of the Fireflies, It's very similar to the kind of the beginning where, the main character of Grave of the Fireflies is like the kid. Like, he's just sitting there and then falls over. And, he's got like dead eyes because he's dead. And he's just like, and then he falls over and because he's dead. And I kind of got that vibe from it. Also, it's also very similar to, in the respect that, okay, so it's very similar to Maze Hughes' funeral in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Mainly because there's a kid kind of accosting someone. It's like, why are they putting, dirt on Daddy? He's got all this work to do. It's like that, that kind of emotional beat. And I think the kid's name is George. Fucking, like, so Emma's like sitting underneath the tree, dead-eyed, just kind of like, and fucking basically this kid is like, Emma, and like goes into hug her. Like, she doesn't move. Like, there's a fucking leaf on her head and she's not moving, and then like another leaf falls on her shoulder and she doesn't move, and this kid George is like, like is fucking crying and like goes to hug her and hugs her, and it's like, fuck. And then, oh yeah, during when she ran over and tackled Norman, when she went and ran, pulled over Norman, Mama's like, if you make another scene, I will kill you. If you try something like this again, I will fucking murder you. And then, so, fucking, and I'm just like thinking about, because like the thing with like Norman kind of probably being still alive. Like, so it's like, did she just want really smart? Like, did she want really smart kids who could break out and kind of free everybody? Is that what she was going for? Because she just says like, I've been waiting for someone like you, like a smart person like you. So like, she let Connie get murdered. Like, all the kids that she let die because they weren't smart enough, or whatever, which is just kind of fucked up. So yeah, so there's this back and forth between Mama and Emma when Emma's sitting in the bed, like sitting in her bed, because she's well enough, she's walking a lot more than she was, so her legs obviously healed up pretty well, which I think is why. I think that's why Norman stopped her, is because when he stopped her from stepping on her leg, which would have maybe given away the ruse, and they couldn't let that happen, maybe? Like, Norman couldn't let that happen, like, couldn't let that secret out. So it's like, I'm assuming this all is like subterfuge and shit like that, kind of stuff. And, but anyway, so Mama and Emma are having this conversation, and, Mama's like, just give up, give up. That's what she's hammering home. Give up. It's basically the tenor of what she's saying. And Emma can't give up. She's the hope. And which kind of, the theme song, which I fucking love because of the epic sax. If you look up the lyrics, makes a lot of sense given with the show. It's like it's very. If you look up the lyrics, it makes clear why they chose that song for the show. Because hope is a very big part of it, and so the end of the episode. The end of the episode is like probably the best, like, it's fucking like that great, like, yeah, kind of moment. So, it's the night before Ray is to be shipped off on his birthday. And so he's singing in, I assume it's supposed to be like a chapel. I assume it's chapel. He's like humming something. And Emma comes like, "What are you doing, Ray, at this hour?" And he's like, "You really haven't given up hope, have you, Emma?" There's a beat, like the camera's on Emma. And then Emma, like, her eyes are hidden, and then she looks up, and they're like very determined eyes. And it's like, yes. And like then it cuts back to Ray, and Ray's like, he's got a determined look on his face. He's like, yes. So, for me, I think that means, you know, as I mentioned before, I think Norman is still alive and is communicating, you know, was communicating with these, you know, fucks, with Emma and Ray, probably formulating a plan, or they formulated a plan, and all of this other shit that was like, the despair was an act, you know, maybe all this other shit was an act, that kind of stuff. So, yeah. So that's episode 10. Two episodes left. 2 motherfucking episodes left. I can't wait. I think someone spoiled it. Spoiled how they get out on the music video for Touch Off by Overworld. And someone's like, because fire is very prominent. It's a very prominent part of the song. Is like, you know, fire. Like, it's like fire. You know, like, there's like, there's like a spirit, fire. Like, you know, that kind of stuff happening throughout the song. So it's like, okay. And then someone's like, you know, fire. And it's like, plays a huge part in their, spoiler warning. Small spoiler. Fire plays a part in their escape, and I'm like, that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense. As a way to get out. I mean, if they burn down the house, which they might do, because I don't know how this ends. Like, that's just like a spoiler kind of to me. It's like, oh, they're gonna use fire. Like, they burn down the house, they're gonna have to go somewhere. So they'll maybe get moved, or they could use it as a way to get the fuck out of there. Maybe? So anyway, have a wonderful fucking day. Have a good one. And watch the other episodes of this shit, of my reviews, and watch the episodes of the show. Go watch the show. Ta-ta, everybody. Have a wonderful day.